Hi, everybody. Welcome to Specbee's Drupal 10 preview. I've got a bunch of Specbee experts on right now. We're going to talk through this. We're going to talk about what we're excited about, some of the tools that are coming out. We're going to just jump right in. Saranya, tell me what you're excited about for Drupal 10.
Drupal 10 has more exciting things in it. And first, the admin theme, it's changed from 7 to Claro. And for front end, the theme is changed from Batik to Olivero. And those are new themes, so it will be more interesting for us to work in new Drupal setup.
All right, Jagdish, what are you excited about for Drupal 10?
With Drupal 10, we have now Symfony 6 support, and along with that, we have now CK Editor 5 support as well. And as Saranya mentioned, we have a couple of out of the box things in Drupal 10 available, like decoupled menu, project browser. So it is going to be a good experience working with Drupal 10.
Awesome. Shreyal, what do you think?
So I'm excited about the jump from Symfony 4 to Symfony 6. Like, it's the first time in Drupal that we are skipping a Symfony version. So that's a great news. And another is automatic updates. So now we have automatic updates or auto rollbacks, the new UI for the updates. So I'm pretty excited. So developer don't have to go through all the process, all the environments, and it's just a click away for all the security updates.
Thank you, Shreyal. Sagar, what about you?
So for me, of course, the new themes, Claro and Olivero, those are the default ones now. Getting away from those classy themes. And now I'm also excited about the starter kit theme generator. Very fantastic stuff which is being done there right now. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff coming out.
I'm excited. All right, Malavia, any more exciting things that we don't know about yet?
What I'm more excited about is the recipes in Drupal. So we are like, Drupal 10 is moving away from the whole distribution thing and more granular approach of adding functionalities to your site. And that seems pretty exciting. So I'm not fully aware of what's there underneath or what it'll be, but it sounds pretty exciting of how it'll turn out to be and how things will change in the whole Drupal ecosystem of where the distributions and installation profiles are so widely used, and how recipes will play a huge role replacing those distributions, which is being used for past decade. So that's pretty exciting for me.
Very cool. Michael, did we leave anything to be excited about for you? Or is that everything?
I can still be excited. I'm excited for two things. One, for our clients. They're going to get a vastly improved editor experience. Claro, some are already using it, but it's just a total improvement based on what was available in Drupal 7 and on up. It's so much more responsive and usable. And for our developers, things like Starter Kit, I think it's going to allow us to take so many important steps for our clients in the future. So I think it's really kind of the next phase for Drupal. So it's really an exciting time.
Awesome. That is very exciting. All that stuff's going to be a big improvement for everybody, I think, in the Drupal world. But Saranya, I'm going to ask you specifically, will the upgrade from Drupal 9 to 10 be an easy one like it was from 8 to 9?
Upgrading from Drupal 9 to 10, it's more easy compared to Drupal 7 to 8 or 8 to 9, because we have more tools to upgrade from Drupal 9 to 10, like upgrade status, Drupal check. All those will help us to upgrade your Drupal from 9 to 10 very easily.
Thank you so much. Hey, Michael, what are some of the major interface improvements for site admins?
I think the first improvement is really the Claro admin theme. It's such an improvement from old versions of the admin theme. It's a result of the Drupal admin design system, which is an open source project that started years ago. It's really best in class for CMSs. The best term I've heard for it is that it's a respectful design. It has an emphasis on usability and accessibility, so it can be used by anyone on any device. And it's such a clear and clean user interface. It's really a joy to use, but also it's the admin interface is faster because there's a lot of we removed a lot of legacy JavaScript code and methods, and then of course CK Editor 5 is such a great improvement, and it's going to really change the game for a lot of site editors.
Speaking of CK Editor 5, Michael, with that being the default editor in D10, what can content authors look forward to?
Well, I think it's a vastly improved experience. CK Editor 5 is a redesign from scratch. And 4 was released a decade ago this month. And so it's literally 10 years old. And so older guys like me know that it was great for a while, but sometimes you gotta get replaced. So but it's a more up-to-date editor. For the site editors, it's gonna feel more like Microsoft Word or editing in Google Docs. So you can drag and drop images, you can add media easily. Links will have a contextual pop-up instead of a modal. It's just such a great vast improvement. Plus it also has like a better plugin architecture. You can actually add in some pro plugins, I guess you would say. And then there's also the option of using collaborative editing with comments. So for people who have a lot of back and forth in their editing, with multiple people involved, that'll be a great addition.
Very cool. Malavia, how easy or difficult is it to upgrade CK Editor 5 in D10? And is there an upgrade path at all?
So it's easy and it's difficult at the same time. So there has been a huge amount of effort which is being put to have an upgrade path from CK Editor 4 to 5. And there is an upgrade. So it's like CK Editor 5, it's added in Drupal 9 as an experimental module. So you can right away check out how the CK Editor 5 works with Drupal 9. But yeah, there is an upgrade path from CK Editor 4 to 5. You can test out your text formats, which are being currently used on your site. However, the tricky part here comes in when there is a lot of plugins, which are the CK Editor plugins, which are being used in CK Editor 4. So not those plugins need to be updated or made compatible to be used with D10 and CK Editor 5. So there is a chart, or there's a table which lists out which plugins which are currently in D9 are compatible with D10 or not. So for example, the CK Editor accordion, so that is still not compatible with CK Editor 5. So that means we have to find some other alternative if we want to move to CK Editor 5. So it's easy and difficult at the same time.
Got it. And then there's also the situation where there's not much time between Drupal 10's release and Drupal 9's end of life. Is that going to be a challenge for customers or for developers or anybody?
So there is a gap of 1 year, I guess by end of November 2023, D9 will be deprecated. And that's because D9 is heavily dependent on Symfony 4, and Symfony 4 is deprecating on November 23. So Drupal users or Drupal site maintainers, they have to move to D10, and that's a hard end of life which have to be imposed. Now, coming to the question, how easy or how difficult it will be to migrate or upgrade your site from D9 to D10, that depends on how vast your custom code base is, because the contributed modules or the core modules, obviously it will be pretty easy to upgrade. But the amount of custom code, how much amount of custom code is there in your website? However, the easiest part of upgrading your site from D9 to D10 is that any new feature which is introduced in D10, they do have a backward compatibility with D9 until 9.4, if I'm not wrong. So developers who are building their custom modules, they do get the leverage of not using the deprecated code and making their custom modules secure for D10 release. So yeah, it'll be a fairly easy upgrade from D9 to D10.
Very, very good. Okay, Jigish, how do you think website owners or site admins can get ready for Drupal 10? What are your keys there?
All right. So as we know, Drupal 8 is already reached to its end of life in last year. And Drupal 7 and Drupal 9 is also going to be reached to its end of life in November 2023. So it is recommended to upgrade the sites to Drupal 10 before Drupal 9 reaches to its end of life. So for site owners or site admins who are currently on Drupal 9, so the Drupal 9.3 version is compatible with PHP 8 version, and the code which is working with Drupal 9.5 will be compatible with Drupal 10 as well. So in addition to that, we have upgrade status and rector modules as well. So using that as well, we can rectify some deprecated codes in our custom module or any contributed modules. And in that way, we can have the site ready for Drupal 10.
Got it. And the thing I always think about when we're talking about migrations is custom modules. Malavia, how easy or hard is it to move custom modules to Drupal 10?
So as Jigish mentioned, so there are tools available. We have upgrade status module. We have Drupal rector module that actually checks your deprecations which are in your code. Now, if you're working or if your site is built on the latest Drupal 9 code, so and if you have your those checks set up in your pipelines or in your anyway, but that's feasible for you. I think that's very important that those checks are there in your development process, because that will help the developers and the site owners and your clients to be D10 ready whenever they want to move to D10. So it's fairly easy to stay upgraded for your site by and it's just like not using the deprecated codes. Like if some methods or some APIs are deprecated, they have an alternative or a better alternative in D9 or like the later part of D9 and D10. So it's fairly simple to have a custom module upgrade from D9 to D10. It's basically the same code minus the deprecations.
Got it. And then I guess one of the things that we're hearing that is a little bit different is outdated libraries like jQuery and Backbone and all ones like that, they've been removed and replaced by modern JavaScript components. But how is that helpful? Sagar?
Yeah, so these are the bundles which have been used in Drupal for a long time now. And because they were part of a core, there was no alternative to remove them. Now they can be removed and we can move on to writing modern JavaScript, modern ES6 code, which is much more native to the browser. It gives a performance booster, and it is something that we need to have right now. jQuery was once the king, but now we have a lot of alternatives available, which we should, use in our front-end frameworks, upon front-end teams. And apart from that, it also gives, cause for the developers to move away from jQuery and explore newer front-end libraries and frameworks.
I just edited a blog about this new starter kit theme for Drupal 10, and I understand that front-end developers are very, very excited about that, but why?
So starter kit theme is a good concept which the Drupal team has come up with. Basically, instead of inheriting from a theme, we are cloning the theme and developing our theme from that. The advantages of that are that the theme can bring in the original theme from which we have cloned. It can still move on to development, adding new features they want. So in the future, they don't have to keep on having a backward compatibility with the earlier versions of the theme. So that way, the theme development can happen in one way, and the custom code development, custom theme development can happen parallelly with the developers. So yeah, that's a good thing that we are having.
Very cool. All right. So Shrail, we're skipping a version of Symfony and jumping straight from version 4 to version 6. Why and what improvements does Symfony 6 bring along?
Okay. So to understand this, we need to understand what's driving this change. When we say we're moving from Drupal 9 to Drupal 10, or let's say Drupal 11 going forward. So the dependencies, the end of life of dependencies is driving this Drupal upgrades. So we are always one major version behind Symfony when we started with Drupal 8. So Drupal 8, we were using Symfony 3 and Symfony 4 was already out and stable. So we are always lagging behind one version. And with this Drupal 9 and Symfony 4, now Symfony 4 has reached its end of life and we need to upgrade. But Symfony 6 was already out in 2021 and it's stable now. So the point is, if we move to Symfony 5 now, in another year, we have to do another Drupal release, a Drupal 11 release. So, and if you're moving to Drupal 6, we get another 2 years of life for Drupal. So that's the end goal. Now, Symfony and Drupal are working on the same Drupal and Symfony versions. So they are aligned and they will have the same release cycle. So every 2 years, now we will see a consistent Drupal release. With Drupal 8 to Drupal 9, it was a 4-year gap. Now Drupal 9 to Drupal 10 is a 2-year gap, and it will be 2-year consistent going forward. So that's the whole plan to move with Symfony 6. Yeah. So talking about improvements in Symfony 6 and what's better. So there's a lot of improvements. So we are getting new components such as recipes that we talked about previously. And we have a few more things coming up in terms of security, in terms of performance, in terms of code optimization. With Symfony 6, now it's not just a deprecation, it's like a hard limit that you have to update this code. You won't get a warning, you get an error this time. Because the warning process was in Symfony 5.
I gotcha. Okay. Sticking with you, Sharil, talk to us about the new recipes functionality. We heard about this earlier. I think Michael said something about it. What is this new recipes functionality that Drupal 10 is? What does that bring in?
Yeah, this is a very exciting thing. So with recipes. So let me give an example. If you are a blogger and you have your Drupal site, now you have installed a plain Drupal site and now you don't know how to make your Drupal site a blogger site, or what all modules to install, how to configure this, right? So there comes a concept of recipes. This recipe concept is also derived from Symfony 6. Symfony 6 already has this concept of recipes. So now what this recipe is, you will say, okay, I need my blogger recipe. And it's predefined recipes. You will have it in Drupal core. You will get it from a contributed place where you have all the Drupal recipes. And now this recipe is built in such a way. The first step is, okay, get me these 3 modules for my blogging website. Then it will enable those 3 modules. Then it will configure those 3 modules. Then it will give you all the permissions that is needed. And it will also create some demo content. So you don't need to know about all those details. You just say, I need this recipe, and it will be a blogger site the next time you see it.
Saranya, how is Drupal Rector in upgrading a website from Drupal 9 to 10?
Drupal Rector is an open source tool built with Rector, and it will help us to upgrade your deprecated code automatically. You no need to touch the code. It will update your code automatically, but it will not support for all the deprecation. Some set of deprecation you can upgrade from Drupal 9 deprecated codes. It will not.
Very cool. Okay, that sounds good. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Michael, if my website is still on Drupal 7 or 6, let's hope not. But if you are, what should be my next move?
The way I usually phrase it is, first step is take a deep breath, and the second step is panic. But seriously, you just want to take it one step at a time. And the good news is that you waited so long that most of the wrinkles have been worked out. So if you were moving to Drupal 8 back in 2015, it would have been very painful for you to make this upgrade. But most contrib modules have now been moved over to Drupal 8, 9, 10. Or they have an alternative upgrade path. So it makes it relatively easy. And if you start now, you probably go to Drupal 9 first and then go up to Drupal 10. But I can't stress enough, you have to start the process now and fully understand the upgrade. You want to plan the migration, give yourself time, plenty of time to fully understand your own content and what your options are. You want to consult with a developer that has experience in Drupal migrations, specifically from 6 or 7 to 8+, and then work with them to fully understand those contrib module upgrade paths. Also important to note, Drupal 7 and 9, I think we mentioned before, their end of life for both is November 2023. So really the perfect time to start is right now, and getting that wrapped up prior to that end of life.
Yeah, speaking of end of life, Drupal 8 is past its end of life, but what if I'm still on Drupal 8? Jayesh, if I'm a Drupal 8, can I just skip 9 and go right to 10?
Yeah, so migration from Drupal 8 to Drupal 10 is possible, but there may be lots of deprecated codes as there is a major version upgrade from Drupal 8 to 10, and PHP version is also having a major release update. So it is not recommended to rush for upgrading to Drupal 10 without understanding a proper approach. So process of upgrading from Drupal 9 to 10 is seamless, and upgrading in a correct manner will save you a lots of time and efforts.
Very good. No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody's time here today. I know that these Zoom calls can be a tough way to all meet and talk about this stuff. But with Drupal 10 coming December 14th, all right, it's gonna be a party. I'm sure you guys are. Everyone's gonna be jumping right on it, right? No, I do appreciate your time, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon, and well, I'll see you around the Zoom office.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.